Level 1, the powder monkey. You are 12 years old. Your father owes 3 months of rent. The docks need boys, not men, small enough to move fast between decks. You are small enough. You sign the ship's book with an X. You cannot write your own name yet. The ship is a Snow, 2 masts, square-rigged, built for the run linking Bristol to the Caribbean Sugar Islands. You board with 1 shirt, 1 blanket, no shoes. The boatswain takes you below first. Barrels of black powder sit under the waterline. No open flame near the magazine. 1 spark down there. The voyage ends for everyone. You learn the job fast. Boys your age carry gunpowder from the magazine to the gun crews during battle. You are picked for your size, not your strength. Grown men hesitate under fire. Boys your age haven't learned to yet. You fumble a cartridge in your 2nd week. Powder spills across the deck planking. The gunner's mate cuffs the back of your head. You do not spill again. You learn the rigging next. You learn the knots. You learn to splice a line before you learn to read a word. You learn which rope raises a sail. You learn which one hangs a man from the yardarm. 6 weeks in, a topman named Hale loses his grip on the mainmast shrouds. He hits the deck before anyone can shout a warning. Lost overboard, no burial. You scrub the blood before the morning watch changes. Your ration is salted beef, hardtack crawling with weevils, watered rum. You eat the weevils. Protein is protein this far from land. A sailor named Cobb steals another man's ration. The boatswain catches him at it. Cobb is lashed to the grating. The boatswain uses a cat of 9 tails, 9 knotted cords in 1 handle. 24 strokes. You count each one. Your ears ring by the 20th. You do not look away. Looking away marks you as soft. The boatswain notices you counted without flinching. He adds a 2nd biscuit to your ration that night. First reward you have earned since you boarded. By month 4, you can find the magazine in the dark. You can splice a line in under a minute. You cannot yet fire a gun. You are 12 years old. You have watched a man go over the side, 1 line in the log, no burial. You have counted 24 lashes across another man's back. Your stomach stopped cramping by week 6. It just stays empty now. You stop noticing. An ocean away, a war just ended. The Treaty of Utrecht, 1713. You have never heard the name. Thousands of privateers walk off ships with no pay owed. Navy sailors do the same, no new commission waiting. You do not know this yet. You on deck where that decision gets made for you. Level 2, the ordinary seaman. You are 15 years old. 3 years on the same ship. You rate now as ordinary seaman. Real wages, paid in coin when the owners feel like it. The war back home ended in 1713. You did not understand it then. You understand it now. Privateers spent a decade capturing enemy ships for the crown. Now they do the same thing without a commission. Now it is called piracy. Navy sailors flood every port looking for berths that do not exist. Merchant owners know this. Wages drop. A common sailor earns £15 to £33 a year. Less than half what a privateer made taking prizes during the war. You take what you are offered. You have no leverage. Neither does anyone else on this deck. You learn real navigation now. You learn to read a compass rose, a knotted rope for speed, a sandglass for time. You learn to judge weather by the colour of the sky at dusk. Dockside talk turns to one name. Nassau. No governor. No customs house. No tax collector. Just a harbour full of armed men who vote on everything, including who gets to be captain. 2 of your shipmates desert at the next port. They sign on to a sloop bound for the Bahamas. The ship sails undermanned. You take on double watches to cover the gap. The captain rewards you with an extra tot of rum at day's end. First perk of carrying more weight than the job requires. 6 weeks later, the lookout spots 2 sails on the horizon. No colours flying. Both ships close fast. Your cargo cannot outrun them. Your captain orders more sail anyway. The rigging strains. It makes no difference. A shot crosses your bow within the hour. The captain refuses to strike colours. He draws a pistol instead. A boarding party is already coming up the side. He gets 1 shot off. It misses. Their return fire does not. He drops on the quarterdeck in front of the entire crew. No one moves to help him. There is nothing left to help. The pirates take the ship inside of 10 minutes. Your crew is lined up on deck, hands empty, waiting. Their quartermaster walks the line. He asks who wants to sign the articles. He asks who wants the ship's boat instead. Water. A few days' rations. No guarantee of a landfall. He stops in front of you. He hands you a quill. The ink is still wet from the last man's mark. Level 3, the able seaman. You are 16 years old. You take the quill. You sign your mark below 11 other names. No one asks why you chose ink over the boat. The oath comes next. No Bible aboard. You swear instead, with your hand on a loaded pistol crossed over another man's blade. The quartermaster reads the articles aloud, clause by clause. No man can claim later he did not know. The articles say lights out at 8. The articles say no gambling for money you don't have. The articles say no woman aboard without her own consent. The articles say one punishment for breaking that last rule: death, no vote required. Your share comes to one full portion, same as any able seaman aboard. The captain takes a double share. The quartermaster takes the same. The gunner takes 1¼ shares. The boatswain matches him. Nobody argues the math. It was voted on before you ever came aboard. 3 weeks later, you take part in your first boarding as one of the crew, not one of the captured. Your ship runs up a black flag at 100 yards. The target's captain doesn't wait for a shot to cross his bow. Colours come down before your quartermaster finishes giving the order to close. You go up the side too fast. Your foot catches the rail. You go down hard on the enemy deck. A boarding hook from the man behind you catches your collar. It stops you rolling into the gap between the two hulls. Good quarters per the articles. No man dies today who doesn't fight for it. The quartermaster goes through the hold himself. Coin silver, straight into the strongbox, no debate. Bulky cargo gets a second look. Your own hold is already 3/4 full. Half of what's down there gets left to rot on the target's deck. Your first share comes to 11 pieces of 8. More than 4 months of merchant wages earned in one afternoon. A crewman named Piracy is caught with a gold ring in his boot. He never declared it. The articles give a man 24 hours to hand over anything worth a piece of 8 or more. Pharis waited 3 days. The crew votes. Marooning. Pharis gets 1 bottle of gunpowder, 1 bottle of water, 1 pistol, 1 shot. He gets a sandbar 2 miles from the nearest reef, no boat to leave it. You watch him shrink to a dot on the horizon as the ship gets underway. Nobody brings up his name again. Target practice that afternoon. You put 4 shots into a barrel lid from 30 paces. 2 men with 5 years on, you can't match it. The quartermaster watches you reload. He doesn't say anything. He just watches. That night you hear him mention the master gunner's hands shake now when he measures powder. Someone's going to have to take his place eventually. Level 4, the gunner's mate. You are 18 years old. The boatswain's hands shook one time, too many. He hands you off to the gun deck instead. 4 men to a cannon here, sometimes 6 on the bigger guns. You learn to sponge the barrel first, killing embers before they take your arm off. You learn to ram the cartridge home. You learn the wad, then the shot, then the second wad. You learn to prime the touch hole last, 1 breath before the gun captain calls fire. Round shot for hulls. Chain shot for rigging. 2 balls linked by an iron chain built to shred a mast, not punch a hole below the waterline. You learn which one to load before anyone tells you why it matters. Your first real fight comes against a merchant escort running 6 guns of her own. Both sides trade fire for the better part of an hour. The gun 2 down from yours fires late. A sponge just skipped a swab. A spark catches early powder before the ram clears the barrel. The blast takes the loader's hand off at the wrist. Your own crew keeps working. No one stops to look. Most men who die in a fight like this don't die from the ball itself. They die from what the ball turns into once it hits. Wood, iron fittings, splinters moving faster than musket shot. A splinter the size of a belaying pin tears off the mainmast under fire. It takes your friend Averill through the forearm. Bone shows through the sleeve. He does not scream. He just stares at it. The surgeon takes what's left of the arm below the elbow that night. Averill wakes up owed 800 pieces of 8 from the common fund, per the articles. He can stay aboard as long as he likes. Most men in his position don't. You miss a countdown 2 weeks later. Your ram catches on a bent hinge. The gun captain calls fire before you clear it. The shot goes low wide wasted on open water. He does not hit you. He just resets the count. He starts again. By the 4th engagement, your hands run the loading sequence without your eyes checking each step. The gun captain lets you prime the touch hole now. He used to do that part himself. Averill leaves the ship at the next port. 1 sleeve pinned up empty. 800 pieces of 8 sewn into a belt under his shirt. The boatswain watches you work the gun deck from the rail. His own hands are done. Everyone aboard knows it now. He doesn't say anything to you. He doesn't have to. Level 5, the master gunner. You are 20 years old. The boatswain leaves at the next port. Wages owed, paid in full. You take the gun deck as your own. 6 guns, 4 to 6 men on each one, all of them answering to you now. Master gunner's pay comes to 1¼ shares, same as the boatswain used to draw. First real jump in your cut since you signed the articles. You train the new boys the way you were trained. You watch one fumble a cartridge exactly like you did at his age. You do not cuff him. You just make him do it again. Your ship drops anchor at Nassau. Over 1,000 pirates call this harbour home for months, more than the actual townspeople living here. No governor runs Nassau. No customs officer taxes it. No court sits in judgment here unless the crews vote for one. No law reaches this harbour except the law you brought with you. Your share from the last 3 prizes goes fast. Rum first. Cards second. A silk coat you will never wear at sea third. Most men here are broke again within a month of getting rich. You are no different. Dock talk changes that season. A man named Woods Rogers is crossing the Atlantic. Small fleet. Royal pardon in his sea chest. Surrender before September. Keep your loot. Keep your neck. Refuse. Every ship flying the king's colours gets orders to hunt you down. Your captain wants the pardon. Your quartermaster does not. They argue about it on the quarterdeck loud enough for the whole crew to hear. A crewman named Doyle fires his pistol into the air that same night. He's celebrating a card win 2 decks above the powder magazine. The ball goes through a beam 6 inches from an open powder keg. The quartermaster orders punishment on the spot. Discharging a weapon near the magazine breaks the articles clean in half. You are the one who administers it. Gun deck discipline falls to the master gunner now. Not the boatswain. Doyle takes 24 lashes across the back you already know how to count. Your hand does not shake on the whip. Doyle's friendship with you does not change the count. A powder magazine does not care whose friend Doyle is. The vote on the pardon gets called for the following week. Your captain wants your voice in the room when it happens. Level 6, the quartermaster. You are 22 years old. The pardon vote splits the crew almost in half. Half take it at the next port, walk off with their share, names entered on Woods Rogers' ledger as reformed men. Half stay aboard. You stay aboard. The old quartermaster leaves with the pardoned men. The remaining crew needs a replacement inside a week. They vote you in. Same process that elected the captain, 1 man, 1 voice, no exception for rank you already hold. Quartermaster outranks everyone but the captain now. Only the captain outranks you in battle. Every other decision on this ship runs through you first. You count the plunder before anyone else touches it. You settle disputes before they turn into knife fights. You decide who gets flogged. You decide who gets marooned. You decide who earns a second chance. The captain cannot overrule you on any of it. Not without calling a vote he is likely to lose. Your first boarding as quartermaster goes wrong before it goes right. You misjudge the gap between the 2 hulls. You board a full 2 seconds behind your own men instead of leading them across. Nobody says anything about it. You make sure it does not happen twice. The ship you take that week carries cotton, indigo, 40 casks of Madeira wine. You keep the wine. You keep the coin box. You leave the cotton to rot in the hold. 3/4 of the cargo by weight. Not worth the space it takes up. Ransom the negotiations run through you now too. A Dutch merchant captain pays 400 pieces of 8 to get his ship back intact 2 weeks later. Straightforward. Both sides walk away with what they wanted. The next one is not straightforward. A Portuguese slave ship offers cloth instead of gold for her ransom. You have no use for cloth. You give the order to burn her to the waterline. Nobody below decks gets brought up first. The fire takes the hold before it takes the rigging. Your share now comes to 2 full portions, same as the captain draws. Nobody argues that math either. Your captain's calls get worse through the following month. He chases a navy sloop he should have avoided. He nearly runs the ship aground, twice chasing prizes not worth the risk. The crew stops looking at him when a decision needs making. They look at you instead. Level 7, the captain. You are 24 years old. The vote happens on deck by lantern light. Every man gets 1 voice, rank has no weight here. Your former captain loses count before the show of hands finishes. He is not marooned. He is not flogged. He keeps his share, keeps his berth as an ordinary hand. The articles do not punish a man for losing a vote. You take the quarterdeck instead. Full authority in a chase or a fight. Every other decision still goes to a vote, even yours. That balance is what the articles were written to protect. 3 merchant ships anchored in a harbour, black flag run up at half a mile. 2 ships cut their anchor cables. They beach themselves rather than fight. The 3rd strikes colours before your bowguns come to bear. You fly false colours to close the distance after that. You fly Dutch colours most often. You fly Portuguese when Dutch won't sell the lie. You fly no colours at all in open fog. You raise your own flag last, only once it's too late for anyone to run. Word of your name starts moving faster than your ship does. A merchantman off the coast abandons ship at the mere sight of your topsails. Crew rowing for shore before you fire a single shot. Not every target gives up so easily. A Dutch merchant captain refuses to say where his cargo's gold is hidden. You give the order. Your buzzon's mate cuts off 1 ear. The captain talks before the second cut. A storm costs you a prize the following week. You lose the target in fog thick enough to blind the lookout at 30 feet. Your quartermaster wants to press on regardless. You call it off instead. Living to take the next one matters more than this one. Your reputation earns you something else too. A merchant captain who surrendered without a fight 2 months back gets questioned by a Navy officer. He talks freely. A letter reaches Nassau addressed to no one, everyone at once. Description of your ship. Description of your flag. A reward posted for your capture. dead preferred to alive. The wording makes no attempt to hide which one they want. Level 8, the Commodore. You are 25 years old. 2 more ships join your command inside a year. A brigantine taken outright. A sloop whose crew votes to join you rather than take the boat. Your flagship carries more guns than the other 2 combined. All 3 answer to your signal now. 3 ships change how you hunt. You split your fleet across a merchant convoy's path, forcing its escort to choose which flank to defend. It cannot defend both. A captured captain gives you the convoy's manifest without being asked twice. You learn to read a hull's waterline instead. A ship riding low carries more cargo than her papers admit. You take the low one first, every time. You take the one flying extra rigging for speed, guessing at what she's trying to protect. You take the one whose captain won't meet your eye when questioned. You take whichever ship the escort works hardest to keep shielded from you. You misjudge one target that spring. A ship flying merchant colours turns out to be a navy sloop running under disguise. You break off before real damage is done. The powder spent chasing her is powder you don't get back. 3 hulls need scraping by mid-year. Barnacle shipworm, both slow a ship enough to matter in a chase. You beach all 3 at once on a shallow stretch of coast. Guns pulled inboard. Crew stripped down to work the hulls with fire, scrapers. A careening ship cannot fight. Cannon sit useless on the sand until the work is done. Every crew doing this trusts 3 things: the coastline, the season, luck. Your men camp on the beach 3 nights running. Rum first. Card second. A fiddle someone looted off a Spanish merchantman plays until dawn most nights. Most of last month's plunder is already gone. Word reaches your camp on the second night. A captain you sailed alongside 2 years back was hanged at Kingston the week before. His sentence got read out loud to a crowd before the drop. Nobody at your fire stops talking long enough to acknowledge it. Someone refills a cup instead. Hull work finishes on the flagship first, then the sloop. The brigantine is still careened. Guns stowed. Crew ashore. A lookout on the beach calls out a sail on the horizon. Nobody checks what flag it's flying. There hasn't been a reason to, not out here, not yet. Level 9, the Condemned. You are 26 years old. The strange sail keeps its distance at first. Merchant colours flying. Running slow enough that nobody on the beach gives it a second look. It closes faster once the sun drops. Merchant ships do not carry that much sail. Merchant ships do not carry gun ports cut into both sides of the hull. The true flag goes up at 400 yards. Royal Navy colours, a frigate that has been hunting your fleet under false colours for longer than anyone realised. Your own trick turned back on you. The brigantine is still careened, guns stowed, half the crew ashore. There is no time to right her. You give the order to cut the anchor cables on the other 2 ships instead. Abandoning gear costs less than losing minutes. The first pass takes the rigging. The second pass takes the quarterdeck rail. The third pass takes the wheel, helmsman still gripping it when it goes. The fourth pass finds nothing left standing worth the shot. Splinters do more damage than the shot itself, same as every gunner already knows. A piece the size of a fist takes your left forearm below the elbow. You do not go down. Men on either side of you do. You keep giving orders with one hand, pressed against a wound that has not started hurting yet. The frigate closes for boarding within the hour. Resistance stops being a choice once her deck guns clear your own remaining crew off the rails. You survive the fight. Roughly 271 other men from your fleet do too. All of them rounded up across the 3 ships. Marched onto the frigate's deck at gunpoint. A coastal fort holds the trial 6 weeks later. 272 men stand trial together, one of the largest mass trials pirates ever faced. 54 receive a death sentence. You are one of them. 52 of the 54 actually hang. The other 2 win a reprieve that never reaches you. A surgeon takes the rest of your ruined arm the same week the verdict comes down. The wound finally starts hurting after that. It's the last new sensation you expect to have. The morning they walk you out, the harbour is already awake below your cell window. A merchant ship is loading for departure at the near dock. A boy climbs the gangplank behind his father, one shirt, no shoes, a canvas bag held tight against his chest. He stops halfway up to look back at the water. Same look you had 14 years ago on a dock very much like this one. The cycle continues.